Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I wanted to go through the new Viseart Petit Pro palette. This is the Chou Chou, and this is the box that it comes in. And on the back, it has the colors and then the ingredients. And there are 8 shades. It is 0.28 ounces. And obviously, I haven't opened this yet. I can't remember. I think this was $30. Anyway, I ordered it from Beautylish. It came, of course, I was sick when it came, so I haven't gotten to play with it at all yet. But this is the package. So, you know, it's got the typical Viseart, I don't know what material this is. You know, it kind of feels a little bit like moleskin. But this is the back, and then it's got this envelope with a little tab that you lift up. Well, I guess that's technically the front. Then you have a mirror here, and then over here there's a plastic tray that covers this. I like to save the plastic trays on the Viseart palettes because, you know, not that I've had any issue with any fallout or anything from the palettes, but I just like having an extra enclosure for them. Now, one thing about Viseart palettes is all of these little trays are removable. They all come out, they're magnetic. So if you want to mix and match, move them around from other palettes, it's very easy to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch these. So I think they look very pretty. One of the things I like about the Petit Pro palettes is, honestly, I very rarely hit pan on an eyeshadow or, you know, completely use one up. So I like having these smaller sizes, and I like having these portable travel size packages just because they fit so well in, you know, anything. Not that I really travel that much, but it's easier to store more makeup when they're in smaller packaging. So anyway, let's go ahead and swatch these, and then we will play around with them on my eyes. All right, so I'm going to go from left to right, top row, and then bottom row. So the first shade is called Sandcastle. All right, and this is Sandcastle, Creamsicle. What's this one called? Sangria, and Popsicle. So Sandcastle, Creamsicle, Sangria, Popsicle. All right, so you can see that Sandcastle and Creamsicle are both mattes, and then the Sangria has, you see, like there's some glitter in there, a little shimmer. Let me make that a little darker. There you go. And then the Popsicle is a matte as well, so that's the bright pink. All right, so then we have Icy, Melon, Cotton Candy, and Sorbet. So Icy, Melon, Cotton Candy, and Sorbet. And you can see there that Sorbet is a duochrome there. So you can see like there's little pink, gold, melon, you know, orangey melon all in there. And I think that's really pretty. So out of these, the only one that's a matte here is the Melon shade. So we have 4 matte shades in here and 4 more shimmery metallic shades. So again, Sorbet is the duochrome, and Cotton Candy, I have to say, this color is gorgeous. It is a very bright fuchsia pink with sparkle. I hope that is picking up well on there. And Icy, you know, is a really nice bright silver metallic. And I really like the inclusion of having a cool tone silver like this in the palette. I just think that really works well. So anyway, here are all 8 colors, and I'm excited to play with these. So we're gonna go ahead and stay tuned if you're interested in an eye look, and then we will go ahead and discuss my thoughts at the end. Okay, so we are going to start off with a base of Sandcastle, which is this one here. I'm using the Sonia G Jumbo Blender, and I'm gonna put this all over my lid and into my crease. So I'm not wearing any eye primer, so I'm just putting down like this everywhere to kind of act a little bit as a base. And I'm going to go up all the way basically to my eyebrow. This shade matches my skin tone pretty well. I mean, you can still see it a little bit, but it's pretty nude, which for my skin makes it very, very good for a base color, kind of just, you know, evening out any of those different veins and so forth. All right, so I think I really want to focus on a few of the colors today. Let's see, what are they called? The silver, the icy one, the sorbet, the cotton candy. So I'm very, very curious about all of those. I think for, let's actually go in a little bit with the crease into Creamsicle, which is this one here. So I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to get some on the tip. I got too much there. So just some on the tip of this jumbo blender. I'm going to kind of put it in the crease here. All right, and I'm going to add just a touch of the Melon, which is right below that. This is another matte shade, and really just like the tiniest bit on the tip of the same brush, and add it to the outer portion of the crease. Just kind of blend that. All right. Okay, so now I want to go in with something a little bit more fun. So I'm going to go in to the, what is this, Popsicle shade. This is the pink matte, and this is the Sonia G Builder Pro. So I'm going to get some on the brush. This comes up very easily. So let me actually tap off any excess there. And I am going to put this on the inner portion of the lid, probably about the half of the inner half. I think I actually went over further on my left, so let's just add a little bit more here. These colors are so vibrant. It really makes me think of like vacation and things like that, you know, being like on the beach. Anyway, let's go ahead and go into cotton candy. So that is the sparkly pink, and I'm wiping my brush off, and I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to pack this on to the inner portion over Popsicle. And I'm going to tap this one since it is so sparkly. All right, wiping that off as well, and I am going into the sorbet shade next to that. This is the duochrome. And I'm going to put this on the remainder of the lid. I'm going to tap over the edges of cotton candy. All right, I still want to play with the icy shade a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Pencil 1 brush from Sonia G. I'm going to go into icy, which is the silver. And I'm going to kind of load this up on the sides. So I'm twirling it in the pan. Okay, and I'm going to put a little dab here in the inner corner. Bring that down a little bit. All right, and then I want to actually add this to the outer portion as well. So I think I'm going to line Actually, let's line my eyes, the upper eyes with this. Line the lower as well. And I'm going to jack this up a little bit with the silver. All right, I think that's kind of interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead though and add in a little bit more of this duochrome with my finger. So this is the sorbet shade. And I'm going to kind of just tap this on the center. And I'm going to tap a little bit over the silver on the upper lid as well. So it kind of mutes it a little bit. Okay, I actually think this is really awesome. So I like it. But I do want to add a little bit more color to the lower lash line. So I think I'm going to go into the shade Sangria, which is this one here. And I'm using the same pencil brush. I just wiped it off. And I'm going to put some, just in the lower lash line, mixing it with the silver. Okay. So I think that is definitely enough eyeshadow, but I do need to clean that up a little bit. So I'm going to take a clean brush. This is the Esom G34, and you can see that I have some residue over here. I think it's actually fallout. I'm not positive. It could just be my messy application today. But I'm going to just kind of wipe some of this away. And I'm going to blend the crease here a little bit. All right, and then I think I'm going to take that pencil brush again, where to put it, and I'm going to go in just a little bit of the icy shade with the Sangria mixed together. So let me actually mix them on my hand. So it becomes more of a pinky champagne color. I'm going to use this for my underbrow. So I think the icy is a little bit too cool for me, for what I want. But I want a little bit of that metallic look. All right, and I'm just going to blend that in a little bit better with the Esom brush. Okay, I'm gonna finish my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished my makeup and let me just tell you guys everything that I have on. So I have the Stearoyl Perfectioniste primer on underneath, followed by the Biologique Recherche Serum de Teint in shade 1. And then for concealer under the eyes, I have a mix of the Sicily Phytostones Eclat in shade 1 with the Pat McGrath concealer in L1. So I mixed those together. Those are all the items I had on my face at the intro. Oh, plus setting powder. I used the Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder in shade light under the eyes and on my face. So that's what I had on prior to that. I have to say this concealer mix, the two of them together, worked really well because my circles under my eyes are really dark today. So I have 3 very light layers on of that mix, and I'm liking the mix a lot so far. So we'll see how well it wears throughout the day, but so far so good. For my eyes, I decided to add a little bit of the Stearoyl Autographique eyeliner in Shot Noir, which is the black. So I added that, and then I tapped over it with the shadow in, what shade? The Icy, and then followed by the Sorbet on top of that, the duochrome, just to give a little bit more dimension there. The Stearoyl eyeliner is really nice at getting into the little crevices, and since I can't really do tight lining because my eyes are so sensitive, they usually get very watery when I try to do that. I have to say that this is a great alternative to that. It's a fine enough point that if you wanted to tight line with this, you could. And regardless, even just going from the top, the liquid can really get in between your eyelashes. So it is harder to remove that way. But it really works well for that. So I didn't go quite that far down today. My eyes are still kind of watery. Got allergies and everything going on as well. So Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. The blush, I decided to go Viseart for what I had today. So I used the Rose Coral Blush Palette. I used this peachy shade up here. And then for finishing powder, I used the Chantecaille Perfect Blur, the Hummingbird. Highlighter, I used the Chantecaille Eclat Brillant. I wanted a little gold mixed with the silver from the eyes. And then for lips, I used the Viseart lip gloss in Cerise, which is number 4. And I have the By Terry mascara on. So that is everything. I'll have those itemized down below in the description box if you didn't catch anything there. And thanks so much for tuning in and joining me for that look. So thoughts on the palette? I think it's a really fun, vibrant little palette. Technically, there are enough shades in here that you could do like a general everyday look, but that's really not the purpose for this palette. So if you're looking for something for everyday neutral type things, I wouldn't go for this. But I think it's really fun to play around with, and you can get very neutral looks because of the incorporation of some of these shades here. And personally, I really love having the silver added in because I think it kind of sets this palette apart from a lot of the other pink palettes that have been coming out. And I really like having this like really super cool tone kind of in the palette. So this palette, I'd say the shades there are some warmer shades, there are some cooler shades. So it's not overly leaning one way or the other. A lot of the pink palettes that have come out have a lot of like warmer undertones in my opinion. And I feel like this one leans cooler than those. Not that it's necessarily cool tone, but there are definitely cooler tone shades in here as well. Like, what is this? Cotton Candy and Popsicle are both pretty cool toned. And then you have obviously like Melon here, which is going to be a warmer tone. So I think it's got a nice mix. And one of the things I like about having a mix of cool and warm tones is I found that sometimes I make an eye look and it just either, makes my eyes look red and watery or, especially with pink shades and so forth. But it doesn't look right with me. So then if I take a color that would look better on me and line my eyes with that, it really takes the emphasis away from the eye area for me. So for example, if I do some really warm tone pinks or rusty colors, they usually don't look too great on me. So then my eyes usually look kind of like, bruised or red or whatever. So anyway, I look like I'm sick. So if I take a cooler tone shade to line it with, then that separation there kind of relieves some of that illness looking that I get. Now, one thing I want to note is there is some fallout on these shades. So you can see I've got a little bit like here in the crevices here, and my little plastic case now has a little bit of fallout. So I would definitely recommend keeping the plastic cases on all of these. I keep it on my Theory palettes from Viseart as well. For the most part, I accidentally threw one out, threw one away. But yeah, overall, I think it's bright, it's fun, and it's just kind of, it gives me kind of like that sunset vibe. So it reminds me of, not that I've ever been to the Caribbean, but that's what it makes me think of. There's like nice relaxing pictures that you see. So performance-wise on the shadows, everything blended really well. The mattes blend really well. You really don't need to work to pick up any product, and you don't need to work to lay it down or to blend it out. So they're really easy to use. Just, you know, the more sweeping motion you do with some of those glitter ones, the more fallout you're going to have. So I'd recommend patting those or even using your finger. I really liked using my finger for the duochrome. I think I got a little bit more presence from it. But overall, I think all of the shades work really well together, and I'm very happy with the quality of this little palette, and I'm really enjoying Viseart shadows in general. So if you're looking for something bright and a bright, fun pop of color, this might be something to consider. But yeah, I purchased this one from Beautylish, and I got to double check. I think the price was $30, but I know Muse Beauty Pro has it now. They didn't have it when I ordered, but I think they also have, they usually do like little sets where, you know, you can get a deal on like another product when they introduce something new. So I will look that up and put that down below in the description box, because sometimes, you know, it's a better deal that way. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you back here soon. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.